Hello and welcome to the Real Estate 360 show. This is Steve Connolly, hashtag unemployable.
And this is Mr. Jason O. Miles, hashtag the real estate trainer.
Well, all right. You know, we have a fantastic show for you people today. And we're going to talk about trends and finances and single families and exit strategies and all kinds of topics and subjects.
That's right. And the most important thing that we need to make sure that people are understanding right now is, as investors, modifying your strategy now so that you can be prepared for everything that's coming. You know, not really knowing what's coming, you have to prepare for the worst, right?
So what you're saying is think from the end before you get started. In other
Absolutely.
words, know what your exit strategy is and understand what's going on around you right now in this marketplace and watching the trends and seeing what's happening and, you know, all the things that you need to be aware of.
That's exactly right, because, I mean, that's one of the things that I say or talk about a lot. Know where you want to finish. It doesn't matter if it changes, because it will change later, but know where you want to finish and then work your plan backwards, right? You do that on a small scale and you do it on a large scale. But, however, we've got some housekeeping that we need to pay attention.
We do.
We need to mention here. We want to make sure that you guys are going to iTunes, checking us out there. You want to go to our YouTube channel, the Real Estate 360, Real Estate 360 Show. We're on Spotify, Google Play, all those great places. You know, go there, subscribe, you know, leave a comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Let us know what you feel. It doesn't really matter. Just engage. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, that'd be great because, you know, we can't see you or we can't hear you from here.
That's right.
So maybe through, you know, the social medias we could hear you.
And
so let us know.
Yeah, and we don't have our Swami with us. You know, we don't take him out of the house very often.
Right.
So we need you to engage with us. So we want to know what you think. So please go to iTunes, you know, Google Play, Spotify, all those great places, and subscribe, leave a message, let us know what you think.
Sounds good.
And I want to hear what you want to hear.
And let me do this. Let me talk a little bit about what's been going on in the marketplace.
I think that's a good idea.
So, and then you come in and give them the real facts. You know, I'm going to paint the big picture, and you can fill in with some really cool information.
All right, let's do it, man.
So lately, in the last couple of years in single family, prices have been going up.
Yes.
So, I mean, you could be a muskrat, you know, and go out there and write contracts and let the marketplace fix whatever mistakes you may have made, if you know what I mean. But things are changing, and they're changing quickly. Just like they did in 16, 17, and 18, they changed quickly. They moved very, very quickly. Like I said before, I've been doing this for a long time. I've just never seen anything move so fast in terms
on the uptick.
On the uptick, in terms of values going up and areas gentrifying, things. Yeah. Everything is improving. Things have changed. Late last year, they started to plateau out. You and I saw that, and we could see where wholesale values were going up way too fast, and you know, you and I take some credit and blame for that.
What?
What? So those values have gone up, and that was great. You know, that's fine as long as the retail values are going up along with it. But they have stopped going up, and they have plateaued, as we say. And sometimes those wholesale values have continued to go up. You know, these are values. When I'm talking about wholesale values, I'm talking about asking prices that are coming from wholesalers who some understand the marketplace, some don't.
That's right.
But they're just kind of riding this wave and pushing the prices up along, you know, with everybody else, which is fine. I mean, that's the marketplace. That's what it's supposed to do. But it's at some point you got to step back a little bit and say, okay, wait a minute, what's happening here? Especially when things are plateauing.
Right. Well, you got to have checks and balances in anything, right? So, you know, you can't liken this process like in the bottom end of manufacturing, right? You have the manufacturers that understand their market, right?
Right.
But these people have to understand their market. Okay, let's not look at it. Let's look at it from a house builder, a home builder's perspective.
Okay.
Home builders know where their prices need to be before they even start building, right? They know what it's going to cost for the land. They know what it's going to cost to build. They know all those things so they can set their prices, so they can even push the envelope in the marketplaces that they're in. Well, wholesalers,
Yes.
generally speaking, are also on the bottom end of the spectrum at the very beginning of the existing home rebuilding, if you will.
Right.
The problem is they're not as well informed as a whole as our home builders would be. They're not forecasting. They're seizing an immediate opportunity that may be there.
And they're looking at history. Well, some of them are, and some of them are just throwing it out there.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So, because you'd mentioned that on the wholesale side, prices just keep going up and up and up and up and up, and we see that. We saw that. We're still watching that, even though there's the kind of, we talk about that plateau. It's just kind of sitting there,
right?
Because something that was going for $50,000 3 years ago is now going for $120,000.
Yes.
But you have people that will put that property under contract for, let's say, $110,000 and then push it to $130,000 because they want to make $20,000, knowing that the market can barely stand the $120,000, right? So they probably were in it at the $110,000, maybe even $5,000 or $10,000 too much for if they want to sell it today.
Right.
Right. So, pardon me, we have to make sure that, well, you as a wholesaler, you as a real estate investor, have to make sure that you are focused solely on making the best deals for you today. And that's focusing on what the market, the economy may look like in 3 months, 6 months.
As a wholesaler, to be effective, you really have to step out of your shoes and go over and step into the shoes of the guy who's buying the property.
Mm-hmm.
What would they do if they saw this price and they went and did the evaluations, and how would they look at the house? Because that's your customer.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what you think or how much money you want to make or any of that stuff. Oh, look, I can buy this for $100. I bet you I can sell it for $130.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, based on what?
Right.
Based on your imagination.
That's right.
Well, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. But bottom line, if you want to be, as your home builder analogy, which is great, if you want to be well informed and you want to be respected in your marketplace and you want to give out good quality information and you want to do it from the point of view of who's buying your house, who's your customer.
That's right.
And you know what they're going to do? First thing they're going to do is they're going to go online. They're probably going to go on Zillow and start looking up values and say, okay, what would this sell for if it's all fixed up?
Right.
And then they're going to subtract out the renovation costs, and they're going to say, well, this has come from a wholesaler, so it's probably low.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the first thing they say?
That's exactly right. So, but that goes to one of the processes that we're really good at, and that's giving solid estimates on what it's going to cost to renovate this, to bring it to market, to get that top dollar, right?
Right.
So we've been doing it so long, people understand that this is what the number is. In fact, some people think our numbers are even too high on the renovation side.
Some people think ours are too low.
Yeah, there is some of that. But, it's simply just a matter of making sure that you know what the market's going to be. If you're doing, 10 deals a month right now and you're just rocking it, man, you're on fire, you might only do 4 or 5 deals a month right now if you're going to be as conservative as I know one needs to be. If you have been buying at an average price of, let's just say, $100,000, you might now want to come down to about 80. And that will reduce the amount of deals that you do currently in the market today. But that's just because everyone else who has contracts on properties that are trying to flip the contract, or owners that are being a little too aggressive in their pricing, because we see a lot of that because they're too busy looking at the Zestimate. Right? It's the Zestimate says I should get $300.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh out loud like that.
The Zestimate says my house is worth $300. Yeah, but you have a meteorite-sized hole in the roof,
Yeah.
and everything needs to be updated. So no, it's not worth that. But again, once those people are sitting on those properties for a long enough amount of time, you know, they start to get really realistic on what they need to be doing in terms of selling.
Well, Sammy last week was saying he had sellers who said, Sammy, just sell my house. You know, I'm tired of looking at it. And so, you know, we were talking about the median price being a seller's market, a buyer's market, and the lower than median price being a seller's market. But honestly, you know, for the last couple of months, I've been seeing that trend bleed into, you know, the higher ranges of the lower than the median price range.
That's exactly
what does that mean? That means it's a buyer's market.
That's right.
Yeah.
It truly is a buyer's market, but buyers are buying. Even though interest rates are low, you're seeing refinancing. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back from this break. Is that cool?
Yep.
See you guys in a minute.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español. Llámanos. Call us today.
Welcome back. It's the Real Estate 360 show.
Yes, indeed. And yes, we have just been talking about things to pay attention to in the market right now.
Yes.
Right? But I want to really touch on, kind of building on that, I want to touch on this financing aspect because we're seeing all these changes and we're watching certain things happen in the market that are kind of unusual, right? We're watching interest rates go way, way low. People aren't really buying. I mean, there's buying, of course, but we're watching a lot of refinances and we're watching a lot of consumer spending. You know? A lot of credit cards, a lot of automobile loans, just crazy, crazy stuff. You know, in fact, we're at an all-time high for not defaults in auto loans, but lates in auto loans. Right? Because people are just spending money. It's not that they're making less. It's just there's so much debt. Did you know that the average American is over $40,000 in just consumer debt alone? Over
Does that include the car?
$40,000. That does include the car, though.
Okay.
That does include the
You
car.
can do that with just a car.
You can. It's just outrageous right now, right? You know, I was looking at a Ford F-150 a couple of years ago, brand new, you know, fully loaded thing. It was like $72,000. Incredible for a pickup truck. Beautiful pickup truck nonetheless. But the point I'm trying to make is you just have to see what's going on. And if you're going to be a real estate investor, you have to invest. You can't trade, right?
Yeah.
A lot of because I like to call wholesaling trading because we're not really investing. I mean, we kind of like we're a day trader.
It's really arbitrage.
It really is.
You know, where we find a property. Some people go at it from, okay, give me a buyer and then I'm going to go find a property.
Right.
I don't do that, man. That's like being a realtor. I don't want to be a realtor.
That's right.
You know, I didn't sign on for
know,
for this to be a realtor.
That's right.
So, you know, the way to do it is find a property.
And you know that you bring up a really good point. I know we're getting off the finance thing, but you bring up a super, super great point as it relates to people that are new in this real estate business, specifically wholesaling, right?
Right.
They don't know, you know, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do I get the buyer? Do I get the seller?
Yeah.
You know, what do I do first? And I am like you. I'm like, just go get the house. Because if you're making the good deal, you're going to get a buyer. You're going to build the buyer's list. That's the easy part, right? So
I had one of my mentors say to me, do you remember what you said to me way back 15 years ago or whatever it was? And I said, no, I don't remember. You know, I say a lot of stuff. You know? He said, look, if you go find the right deal, then money will flow to you, you know, like Niagara Falls.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Now, but I do understand the other school of thought, but on a larger scale, it makes sense for me. Like, with the multifamily.
Right.
I would prefer to raise money first and then go get the deal.
Yeah.
You know, that would be my preference, right? But that really only happens successfully once you've built a little bit of a reputation, you know, when people want to do stuff with you. But that, you know, you as a someone.
And how do you do that? How do you build a reputation?
You just do the right thing.
I mean, what do? You sit at home and
you got to get out there, and that's and that's another thing you bring up. So many people, perfection is their form of procrastination.
Yeah.
Right. They don't want to do anything until they figure it all out, or until they feel like they've got it all together. There's no having it all together. You're not going to listen. If we're all batting 1,000, right? If anybody batted 1,000, we would never forget that person's name. Think of it in baseball terms. Guys go to the Hall of Fame for getting it right 3 out of 10 times. You bat 300, you're in the Hall of Fame over a consistent period of time. Okay?
I know we're way off the financing thing, but, they have a saying out there that goes like this. It's if you don't have a plan B, you don't have a plan, because that means your plan A is not going to work. But darn if I ever can tell you when my plan B worked, or C or D or E.
I never had one. My plan B was burn the boat.
All right, that's it.
Burn the boat. This is what I'm doing.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about commitment.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm not talking about the Rubicon.
Okay.
But that's okay. But I'm talking about once you get started in something, yes, you have your vision of what it's supposed to be at the end, and you know how you started out. But getting there, boy, that's not going to be the way you think.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. When I started this, Steve, I knew in my mind, in the end of days, at the end of my career, I was going to be a developer. I was going to be developing subdivisions in particular.
Oh, okay.
Now this was for whatever reason, this image of real estate success formed in my brain many, many moons ago.
Yeah.
So when I started it, I was like, yep, that's what I'm going to do. And then I started doing this, and everything changed. What I was doing to get there, the path I thought I was going to be on changed,
right,
which showed me different things, which gave me different goals and objectives to work and struggle for.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's what I thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to be the next D.R. Horton or something.
That's not a bad goal to have. Maybe, we should look into that. But
No.
probably not right now
not
because of what's happening in the marketplace right now and as it relates to financing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a boom-bust economy.
Yeah.
And, a year and a half, 2 years ago, I mentioned this last week, I think. I was riding around, looking at all the new construction going on, and I said, there's a good percentage of this that I'm going to be able to buy really cheap at some point in the future.
Yeah.
So, thanks, guys, for building all this and helping with the boom economy.
That's exactly right.
Because, I want to be around for the bust.
That's exactly right. And going back again, I hate to keep going back to the builders, but these builders are waiting for this bust because they're going to be able to go in and scoop up land that they can develop 10 years from the day they buy it. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, because that's how they're thinking. And we have to think, we're thinking that same way in our multifamily business.
Absolutely.
In the single family business, it's a little bit slower, right? Faster, excuse me.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, except for now you're making offers like on everything, you have to make lowball offers. That's why I said earlier, you might be doing 10 deals a month right now, and it's going to go to 4 or 5 for a while. It'll get back up there, but you've been prepared. Right? You've prepared yourself. You've been doing this. And yes, you're not doing as many deals. Maybe your profit margins are up slightly because of the way you're making deals now. But if you're going to do this, you have to be prepared. And you also have to learn how to hedge your bets. And understanding the financing is what's going to get you there. Understanding where financing is going to go is what's going to help you get there. And you have to spend some time learning these things, having dialogue about historic events. What's happened in the past in economies that looked like this? When we had economic conditions that were doing similar things to what's going on now. What happens in an election year?
Right.
Typically, when does that start to ease? You have to look at all these things. I don't personally remember having a significant trade war, right, with other countries.
No.
I don't. I don't remember. I've read about them. But I've never really, that I can remember, maybe when I was younger, actually lived through one, but understanding how this is going to affect you and your business. How does this looming trade war that everybody is already charging more money for certain goods and products, and how does this affect you? How does it affect your business? How will it affect you in 3 months?
The trade war, I see some of the prices that that are on goods and services, not services, on goods coming out of China.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, I think everybody's overreacting.
Absolutely not. Let me tell
They
you why.
are overreacting because those items are so cheap.
Yeah, but you know what? Very few of us are buying 1,000 of this and shipping it over, so it can
that's
be
true.
affordable, right? So what's happening is the manufacturer or the distributor is preparing themselves today for the looming trade war. So we're watching products go
They're
up.
going to definitely charge more.
They're charging more, not because it's costing them more today, but because it's going to cost them more tomorrow. So it's not a fair system for you and I,
No.
as the consumer. It's not fair. If I'm buying a box of nails today for $20 and then something hits the news for, 2 or 3 weeks or a month, and now it's $30, but they're still paying 10 for it, right? They're still paying 10 for it, but now it's $30 to us because they're making more money to cover potential, not even losses, because when they're paying
gonna
more
have
later, it's
to
going to
buy
be more.
it back. They're going to have to use that money to buy new inventory.
They are.
So that's what they're looking at. They're
Yeah.
not looking at what they pay for it. They're saying, okay, we got to bring this money in,
Mhm.
and this percentage of it is going to purchase new inventory.
And we expect it to be more expensive.
Yeah, it's going to be more expensive.
right.
And it may or may not be, but
And that's right. You never know. But even if it is, if the cost of nails, just think about it for what we do in our line of work. If the cost of nails went up 50%.
let's use screws because I want to tell you something here.
Okay, we're going to use screws.
Chinese screws.
Because they've got, they're doing it with the steel over there, right? So
Yeah.
if they're buying screws at $10, buying them and getting them here, that is, and now it goes up to $20.
No, 25%. It's going to go up to $12.50
30% now. It's 30%
okay,
now.
okay,
So
$13.
$13,
All
right? 'Cause their cost is $13. Well, our cost will be $26. So
Right.
it's gone up the same 30%.
Mm-hmm.
But what is that 30% increase in that particular product or any product that's made out of the same material coming from the same place? That 30% increase in a portion of the products that you need to build this house, to renovate this house, it's going to minimize what you can actually pay for the house. It's also going to slow the market down. So demand will go down for that particular good as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that we're having this this kind of a conversation. But
Yeah, well, how
these
did we
things
get
are-
here?
Yeah, these things are very, very important for you guys to know. You have to plan for this kind of stuff. You
But
have
you know,
to
you're
make
going
it
to
happen.
you're going to get from steel at least. You're going to get a lot better quality with U.S. steel than you would Chinese steel.
Even though they're laying off people now.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah. It's an
'Cause
ugly situation.
I bought some Chinese screws from one of the big warehouses, and I tried to use it on some furniture, and it broke.
Yeah, they are not known for their stability.
So, I would pay more for a quality screw.
yeah.
So-
Tell that to the guy that's renovating an $80,000 rental property, right?
He's throwing 25% of them away anyway.
Sure. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break, guys, and we'll get right back to the meat and potatoes of this month.
All right.
Do you need to sell your house? Well, our company will buy your house. We make the process very fast, very easy, and it's all cash. All you have to do is give us a call today.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833willbuy.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
All right, here we go. We are back, and thank you all for staying with us through that break. Again, a reminder, check us out on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all that great stuff. Get the subscribe.
Yes.
We want people to subscribe.
We do?
Yes, we do. We want people to subscribe and comment. Engage with us. Let us know what you like and what you dislike, okay?
Jason O'Miles.
Yes.
We have a guest with us today. Why don't you do the introduction, please?
I will definitely do the introduction. Today on the show, we have a really, really good show. We have Mr. Justin Ship with us today of Chaotic Realty. And Mr. Justin Ship is a wholesaler we've worked with in a number of different occasions. We've known him now for, wow, going on 6, 7 months, somewhere in there, maybe a little bit longer. He's been pretty consistent in the market. And I think that what he's seeing in the market right now is pretty significant because he's boots on the ground, right? He's there every day. You know, I mean, we're there every day, but not like he's there every day, right? So he's boots on the ground, and I thought it would be really good to get an idea of what you're seeing in the market, Justin. So, Justin.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Justin Ship.
Call me
Tell us.
the real estate assassin.
The real estate assassin. Chaotic realty. I love it. Hashtag real estate
Could I
assassin.
ask a quick
Hashtag
question?
that.
Yes, please do.
Where did chaotic realty, the name, come from?
Well, that one's pretty easy. Anybody that knows me knows I'm pretty crazy. I kind of live on a wild side, I guess you could say.
Okay.
I'm pretty tattooed up, which is kind of one of the significant reasons for it. But actually, when I got into real estate, everybody was telling me how crazy I was, and they couldn't see me in real estate. And I was like, well, I need something that kind of fits with my personality. So I was trying to kind of think of names and stuff, and I always liked the name of, chaotic, but I wanted to switch it up. So I changed the CH and made it a K, made it a little bit more unique.
Cool.
So it kind of worked out. Everybody starting to recognize who I am now.
That's right. Well, I mean, you're in the
Awesome.
market. So if you're in the marketplace and you're marketing what it is you do, it's kind of hard for people not to see you.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, and that's the good thing. But having said all that, being out there in the market, knowing that you're doing deals, you've won some and you've lost some.
I haven't lost many, but
That's
I've
right.
lost a few.
That's right. But what are you seeing now, and how are you kind of steering your business at the moment?
Well, I will say I've been noticing a lot of the big brands like Zillow and OfferPad and Open Door and stuff like that. They're coming in and they're definitely disturbing the market.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing a lot of these big name players and stuff making it really hard for the new wholesalers coming in that don't really know what they're doing to really compete with that.
And you say that because of their buying tactics, right?
Yeah, I mean they're overpricing or overbuying and making obscene offers on properties.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I lost my first deal actually to OfferPad last month, and I've actually won a couple from them against them. But last month I went to talk to a guy, talked to him several times, and I was offering him $85,000 for his $150,000 house. It needed fully updated. Well, OfferPad offered him $136,000.
Wow.
There's no room for profit. I can't make that work. I still
wait a
told him to
minute.
go with it.
OfferPad will offer a price, but then they'll start deducting
They
like
will.
crazy.
And I actually got a funny story about that. I have done a couple of rehabs as well over the last 2 years, and I think it was my third rehab. It was close to Christmas of last year, and we just wanted to get it moved. Dump it. We started seeing that plateau in the market. The prices started to drop a little bit. We started getting a little bit nervous that it wasn't going to sell for the price we wanted to sell it for. OfferPad came in. They offered us pretty much our asking price, so we went ahead and took it. It was like $8,000 less than what we wanted. So we were like, let's go for it.
yeah.
So, anyways, before closing, about $25,000 later of deductions and problems that they wanted fixed, or little small things that they charged us for, little fees and everything else, we did not get our asking price. And I'm seeing a lot of that. A lot of homeowners are complaining about, they come in with this high offer, and then after they lock down that contract, then they come back and find a bunch of problems and try to get you to Jew down. So this is why you need to stick with the experienced wholesalers that know what they're doing, and they will give you a realistic price, and that is the price that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they're not going to come back later and go, hey, we need it dropped.
So what you're describing now is coming from these big companies that are in the market or have entered the market in the last,
Year? 2 years?
2 years. Yeah, few years. But we saw this before. We saw this after our economic crushing
Absolutely.
with the institutional investors when you had Wall Street coming and buying single-family homes all across America. So they would wind up at the foreclosure steps. They were making offers with realtors, for all the REOs, and they were offering way more money than these properties. We could not compete with them. Now, as I describe it, organizations like that can make 8% a year. I mean, when you're paying people a 7-8% return on their money, That is fantastic for people that have passive money in the market, right? They've got their safe money, relatively safe money in the market. But for guys like us that are living off of this is what we do. We can't possibly, especially when we're starting out, can't possibly live off 8% a year. It's impossible, right? Unless you have $1 million.
You know, those institutions, or more.
Or more.
$1 million is not worth what it used to be.
No, it sure isn't.
So, but those institutions were pretty much, at the steps, and they were pretty much bank buying properties. In other words,
right.
These new ones, Zillow and OfferPad and Knock and those guys, they are going direct to the consumer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
they have
that's
the data.
the difference.
Yeah.
Exactly. The technology is now caught up with that, so that we can.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
I mean, they're basically marketing on a massive scale.
Yeah.
I mean, you see them on the TV, on commercials. Almost everybody's getting direct mail from them. I mean, I get probably at least 2 or 3 a month at my house.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're really pushing what a lot of wholesalers stuff can't, because wholesalers that are coming in, they don't have millions of dollars to spend on advertising and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
These big companies, they have tons and tons of money.
Right.
So they're able to really market on a wide scale that we can't compete with. So this is why the importance of building rapport and a good reputation comes in.
That's exactly correct, because the reality of it is it's all about consistency in the market. And when you've got what seems like an unlimited resource to just constantly flood the market with, your brand, you become an authority very, very quickly. But we as small guys in our local markets have to do the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
Right? We want to be consistent. And as I tell people all the time, this is a numbers game. Your marketing is a numbers game, right? You could send me mailers every day for 6 months, right? And then you send me one on the 182nd day.
And it's got my picture on it.
Right.
And so you're going to call me.
Right. But, for whatever my circumstances, the circumstances in my life are,
Right.
At that moment that I got your mailer or got your call, I said, you know what? I keep getting this. I need to call and see what this is about. So I call you.
So you mean it's not about me?
Yeah, it is about you.
No, it's about the timing.
It's all about you.
Timing.
That's right. It's the timing. It's
it's really about the timing.
It is about the timing.
You nailed it right there.
Yep, it's just about the timing. And the consistency in the market is what gives you your deals. It's not luck. For some people it is. We've got to I try to find deals in some of the most unique methods. At least I think they're unique, right? They're very salient to me. But I talk to people that do BPOs that are working for lending institutions. BPOs are broker price opinions,
right?
And they find these deals because they're taking these pictures for these banks all the time, and every now and then they're going to run across someone who's still living there, or something of that nature. Found one in 30316, super great zip code, potentially $120,000 for a house that's in a neighborhood that's $450 or better.
Nice.
It's just fantastic.
Justin, how do you find them?
I'll be honest. So there's so many ways to find properties. You can do lists, driving for dollars. I have scouts, direct mail, cold calling. There's so many different ways, but I like to buy the list and I go door knock. And that's the difference between me and these big companies is they're not door knocking.
That's right.
They're not going to come out there and knock on people's door and talk to them in person. And you build that one-on-one relationship with the owners, well, they're going to like you more.
Right.
You send a direct mail to them, they can throw that away. It's not easy. I mean, it's not hard to throw a piece of paper away.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty hard to slam a door in your face and say, I'm not interested. If I get in front of you and I start talking to you,
I haven't had that
I can build that rapport.
Seemed pretty easy to the people that did it to me. It's pretty easy.
I've done a little bit of that too. It seemed fairly easy for them too.
It happens. It's just not super common.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so that's your favorite way.
I love door
makes
knocking,
perfect
and
sense.
it takes a lot more time. But I'm a people person, so I like getting in front of people. I like talking to people and finding out what their problems are and try to fix it.
Yeah.
It's not about the money always.
Steve says that a lot of. All the time.
Yeah.
We're problem solvers. We're not.
Absolutely.
We're not real estate investors. And I think that's
Not really.
Yeah, we're just
We're marketers and problem solvers.
That's right.
That's all.
Steve says that all the time, and it is so true because who are we dealing with? We're dealing with people that have issues that they need fast solutions for. So
Sometimes they don't even realize they have a problem, you
Yeah.
know, until you bring it up and remind them about that
Yeah.
problem.
Take a minute and literally a minute, and tell us about your first property.
My first deal was actually a pretty crazy one, and it was actually one of the easiest ones I've ever done. It was with a bank, surprisingly, and I had a friend of mine that reached out. I had just started getting into real estate. I was reading up, I was learning everything I could, and a buddy of mine reached out to me because I had made a post on Facebook saying I was looking for distressed properties. He said, "Hey, I live in Macon, Georgia,
Okay.
and I have a house right across the street from me that's vacant, and there's a sign in the front yard that says it's owned by a bank and it's for sale." I said, "Well, I don't know. I've heard not to do stuff with banks, and this was my first deal." So I called the bank anyway. I made them a blind offer over the phone for $5,000. They took it. I sold it for two weeks later for $10,000 to a friend of mine.
That's right.
It was a great deal. It was super easy. The bank was real laid back, and I sent them a contract. They signed it that day. I closed 2 weeks later. It was phenomenal.
Did you actually go look at the house?
I did not.
Okay.
Never even seen it.
That's all right. Well, Justin, listen, man, I want to thank you for being with us today. Thank you so much for your time. And we absolutely look forward to working with you in the future. So stick with us. We're going to make sure you guys have information on Justin in case you got a house for sale and just need to get some information.
Awesome. Appreciate you having me on. Thanks.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
Hello, welcome back. It's Real Estate 360 and the Real Estate 360show.com.
That's right.
Stephen A. Connolly.
And Jason O. Miles.
Yes, sir.
Some people call him Alvin sometimes. You don't want to meet Alvin.
I fired Alvin. He had, he was just too obnoxious. I had to let
Alvin
him go.
did get pretty aggressive this year.
I know he did. Yeah, I had to let him go. I'm sorry.
he's a necessary evil at certain times, though.
Well, he's on the contract. We'll have to go find him.
That's right. Hopefully, no one that's watching or listening will ever meet Alvin, but he's definitely not invited to the show
Or the party.
or the party. No.
Hey, well, listen, we've been talking about everything under the sun in this show. I mean,
That's
it
right.
seems like, but so we're really focused on investors. What do investors do?
Yeah.
And so investors right now, what do they do, and what kind of financing do they go get, and what's your advice?
Well, Steve, thank you for asking. I believe that really, as I said earlier, it is important for us to make very conservative offers today. Very, very conservative offers. We're going to go in and we're going to make these 30-day offers thinking that we're going to be able to flip it, and we very well may flip it in 30 days. But as you and I know very well, there are deals that we might have for 2 months, 3 months, sometimes even longer.
Yeah.
Because we know that there's value there, which is why we haven't parted with it. And sometimes that changes for us because we'll get rid of properties and fill the pipeline with new, fresh blood.
Yeah.
But get yourself a good deal and get as much time as you can for that, because these 30-day contracts, if you don't have built-in extensions and things like that, you could lose your shirt or lose potential deals. You also want to make sure that you've got some takedown financing, some bridge financing in place, which we've got Rich Capital Funding.
Yep, Bob Rich.
You can go call Bob Rich. There's always a link on our website to him. There's going to be more than likely a link to Rich Capital Funding here at the description for this. If you go to iTunes or Google Play, YouTube, all those great things that we've been enticing you to go to for this show. But they'll partner with you in one way or another, whether you have money or not. It's totally up to you. If the deal makes sense, he's going to let you know.
If the property is if the numbers are good, money will flow to you like Niagara Falls.
That's right.
And then it's up to you to put it together in any number of about an infinite number of ways to structure the thing.
That's right.
Whether it's joint venture, private funds, IRA money, 401, hard money, maybe, we just put together one joint venture that the lady that came to our seminar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so she said, I want to do a renovation. And we said, well, okay, but, it's not really, you're going to learn the most, and that's this way. But it's not the preference way. But anyway, she did it. So we went through and we kind of mentored along the way and said, this is what you need. And she said, well, I don't have that much money. So she brought a relative in. And so she came in as a lender. I mean, if you don't have a plan,
That's right. It just knowing the options. And again, that's one of the most important things about having a mentor or a coach, whatever you want to call it. I prefer to use the mentor term, right? Someone that you can call up and say, hey, listen, here's an opportunity, but I don't know. Here's what I see, but I don't know. What do you see? Yeah. Here's what it looks like to me. Here's the information. Because she wasn't coming up with those solutions on her own.
No.
She hadn't done enough to come up with those solutions.
She didn't even know how to buy it.
But she did know how to do the one most important thing.
Right.
Call someone who does.
Well, the second most important thing, she found the property.
Well, yeah.
She marketed it,
Absolutely.
found the property, and she said, I don't know. I got something. I don't know what it is. Here.
Yeah. That's right. And she's done that with a few deals now.
Yeah.
I mean, she is active by far. I mean, we talk about her a lot.
Right.
She is extremely active because she wants to see change in her life. And this will probably be one of her best years ever. Period.
And we met her through one of our seminars.
Correct.
And guess we met Mr. Justin Shipp at one of our seminars.
That's exactly right.
And if you're not coming to one of our seminars, you're missing stuff. You're missing a lot.
That's right. And Justin came through with Cody.
Yeah.
And these guys were already active in the market. So it's not a matter of you being so successful you can't meet other people. You can't increase your network. That's just foolish.
Right.
Right? Pardon me. You want to increase your network because that's where you find your true worth. I hate to say the cliche, but it is true. Your network is your net worth.
Right.
Opportunities come up. You can't take advantage of it all by yourself. You have to reach out to your network.
That's right.
They need something. They're going to reach out to you. I mean, there's so much opportunity inside of a solid network of people that are moving forward in whatever it is they're doing. You want to be a part of that. This is not just come to a seminar and sit there for 2-3 hours and get fed a bunch of information and right at the end it's like, oh yeah, now for $50,000 you can too. No, it's not that at all. We want you to come and learn. We want you to be winners on a winning team.
You're giving away our secret.
Oh my gosh. God forbid.
I've been asking why we've been charging $20 for this forever.
Yeah.
And now you just told them.
Hey, listen, if we don't have commitment numbers on some of this stuff, it's all bad.
I know.
I've gone to
instead of 5,000, I don't mean instead of free.
Right. I went to one about a week and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
And it was free. It was free. And the group that had done it, they had this whole big spread laid out. They had, what is it? Fruit and, what is it? The
croissants and bread
and cheeses and meats and
crackers
wine and soda and water. I mean, just this whole big spread, right?
Yeah.
And they were doing it in one of the houses that they had renovated. And the guy gets up there and, it's really kind of an impromptu thing. There's no PowerPoint. It's just a guy standing up there talking about, what he's done for the people that are in the group and a couple of the people's in the group. But everyone there is for free. And they're all sitting on the couches and in the chairs with their arms folded. I mean, they're just closed to everything. And I'm wondering to myself, what did they come here for?
Was it a seminar on real estate investing?
It was.
Or was it a cheese show?
Very few of them passed up on the food.
Okay.
Right? Everybody had a plate, okay? A very healthy place, like they came there for dinner.
Okay.
At least that's how I felt about it. And then at the end, when it was time to mingle and do all the things you would do to increase your base.
Everybody left.
Except for one guy. But that's the one. You know, that's the one. But everybody just walked out of there. You know, and they did the, you know, you're invited to come over to learn something.
Yeah.
There's this spread up, and they eat it, everything, and then they take 1 or 2 plates to go with them.
Lunch and learn.
What are you guys doing here? You know, but the point I'm trying to make is the guy didn't have any commitment levels associated with it, and that really takes away from what it is you're offering in terms of people's perception of what it is you're offering.
And you know, I've run a meetup group. It's just a business meetup group, referral meetup group for a long time, and it was for free for a while, for quite a while, most of the time. I just changed it this year. Now I'm charging them $10 because I had people complaining that the food at the restaurant that was giving us a free room was too expensive, and they had a free meeting. You know, I wasn't charging anything for my time. I said, all right, that's it.
Yeah, it's a mentality that's associated with it.
It is, and so I wanted to. It's not that I wanted to charge $10 because I didn't, because that's another hassle in a way.
Right.
But it's about the commitment and the people that are going to show up. It's about the quality, not the quantity.
Absolutely correct. You know, I was having a conversation a little bit about this in my drive in this morning, and you know, if people are out here and they're working really hard to do whatever it is they do, whether it's finding real estate, give education, give training, give coaching, whatever it is. You know, I was on the phone with a guy who was trying to be this huge guy in the space, but he doesn't do any real estate.
Oh.
He hasn't done real estate in 12 years. You know, he wants to teach people and coach people on antiquated tactics and techniques.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's made his money in real estate. He's got a bunch of multifamilies. He doesn't want to talk about that. He thinks right now is the time to start teaching people about single-family investing. And he has not done it in 12 years. Not touched a single-family house in 12 years. You know, and he's got this great idea because he heard Bill Gates say, you know, if I've got $2, I'm spending $1 on marketing. You know, he can sell anything if he does it that way, he believes.
Well, okay.
Bill Gates, though. It's Bill Gates. Come on. I mean, the guy created Microsoft. I mean, are you not going to at least take a peek at what it is he's offering?
There's a difference. But Bill Gates is involved with his business, or he's got people who's involved.
Yeah, but
and this
some guy from, you know.
This guy he's not even doing it anymore.
No, he's not doing it at all.
So,
you know, and I'm being honest with him, and I'm like, listen, man, it doesn't matter what you do. You still have to start off at the bottom. Nobody knows you. Right. You know, you have a circle of people that you may be able to coach, but everybody you know is investing in multifamily, and they're business owners. The only house they own is the one they live in and the one they probably vacation in. You know, so you're on another level. You have to, in terms of your finances and your lifestyle. So you have to start thinking a little bit differently, and you have to get off your high horse, put your feet on the ground, and really understand what's going on out here. Because if you jump out here in the market now, market conditions are different today than they were 12 years ago.
Right.
Substantially different. You have to know exactly what it is you're trying to do, and just making money in real estate isn't going to cut it.
So what should people do? Give us 30 seconds
people should right now go to realestate360show.com.
I like that.
That's what they should do. And they should find out when our next event is, and they should come. And they should come with the mindset of learning, of connecting with people.
And you can find them all on Eventbrite right now. I'm going to send you there because we've got more at Eventbrite at the moment under Real Estate 360.
Absolutely. And just get involved, you know. Start doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, don't, as I said earlier, don't let perfection be your reason to procrastinate, because you'll just procrastinate. Get off your butt, make it happen, learn, get involved.
Only if you want to. If you don't, you know, don't.
My name is Jason Miles, and I love you guys for listening. Thank you so very much.
Steve Conley here, and we're signing off.
Peace.